Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at agentic workflows and how they can kind of like revolutionize the way we get things done.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. And we've got this really cool article here. It's by Zen the Innovator, and it's called Agentic Workflows, Harnessing AI Agents for Modular and Fractal Task Management.
Catchy.
Yeah. So this whole deep dive is going to be about how we can actually use AI to really boost how effective we are and be more creative and all that jazz.
Yeah, it's super exciting stuff. The article's really interesting. Lots of good ideas in there.
Yeah. So to kind of kick things off, I'm really curious about this whole agentic workflows thing. It sounds a little, I don't know, technical.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's probably a pretty powerful concept. What do you think?
You're right. It does sound kind of intimidating at first, but when you really get down to it, it's basically about using these AI agents to help us manage our tasks and get things done like way more efficiently.
Right.
It's almost like having a bunch of, specialized AI assistants. Each one's like a pro in their own area and they all work together seamlessly, under your direction.
Okay, so it's not about like replacing humans with AI then.
No.
It's more like creating this sort of like teamwork kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about collaboration.
Okay.
So humans, we set the goals and we provide the context and we guide the overall strategy.
Right.
And then the AI agents, they take care of like the nitty-gritty tasks and processes.
Okay, so it's almost like having a team of like super efficient specialists.
Right.
Working right alongside you, and each one brings their own unique skills to the table.
Exactly.
That's really cool. But how does this actually work, like, in practice?
So the article, it talks about 3 key elements of agentic workflows.
Okay.
The first one is modularity. So this is like breaking down big, complex tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks that AI agents can handle like one at a time. Think of it like building a house, right? You wouldn't try to build the whole thing all at once. You break it down into steps. You lay the foundation, you frame the walls, you do the plumbing, all that stuff.
Right.
And each one of those tasks could be handled by a specialized AI agent.
Oh, so it's kind of like an assembly line, but for information and creation.
Yes, exactly.
And each AI agent is like specializing in one specific step of that process.
Exactly.
Okay, I see how that could really streamline things.
Yeah.
What's the second element?
The second element is what they call fractal scalability. And this is the ability for AI agents to work at different levels of detail so they can like zoom in or zoom out depending on what the task needs.
Okay.
So for example, one AI agent could handle both like really detailed research on a very specific topic, but then also provide like a high-level summary of what they found.
Oh, wow. So it's like having an AI assistant that can switch between being like a super meticulous researcher and then like a big picture strategist.
Exactly.
Depending on what you need at that moment. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the third element then?
So the third one is human-AI collaboration. And as we were talking about before, this isn't about replacing humans. It's about helping humans do even more.
Right.
We're still the ones in charge, setting the goals, making sure everything's going to plan.
Okay, so it's all about finding that sweet spot where like human creativity and AI efficiency can like work together seamlessly.
Exactly.
I love that. That's really cool. I can already see how this could change the way we approach all kinds of tasks.
Well, yeah.
But before we dive into some like specific examples, I'm curious about all these different types of AI agents that are out there.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
So there are actually quite a few different types of AI agents. Each one's got its own strengths and capabilities, and the article focuses on 2 main categories: persona-based agents and then utility-driven tools.
Okay, interesting. So some AI agents actually have personalities.
Yeah.
While others are kind of like more like specialized tools.
Right.
Tell me more about these persona-based agents.
Okay, so imagine like an AI brainstorming partner who throws out all these creative ideas, or an AI research assistant that's super organized.
Okay.
These persona-based agents are all about interacting with humans in a way that feels natural.
So it's almost like having like a virtual colleague,
Yeah,
but with their own personality and like communication style.
exactly.
Okay, so how do those differ from the utility-driven tools then?
So the utility-driven tools, they're more focused on specific tasks.
Okay.
So think about an AI that's like amazing at data analysis or coding or scheduling.
Right.
They're the masters of their craft, but they don't necessarily have a personality or, talk to you in a casual way.
Right, so it's like having a toolbox, but it's full of incredibly specialized AI tools.
Exactly.
And each one's designed for a specific job. And I imagine there are times when you might need both of those types of agents working together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The real power comes from combining them.
Yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds. Imagine like a financial advisor AI that can not only crunch numbers, but also explain things in a way that's easy to understand.
Right.
Almost like a mentor.
Like a wise mentor.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so we've got our team of AI agents. Some have personalities. Some are purely focused on utility. They're all ready to tackle different parts of a project. But how do we actually put them to work? What does a typical agentic workflow actually look like in action?
It's a lot like any other project.
Okay.
You gotta have a life cycle. And it all starts with planning and strategy.
Okay, so in the planning phase, we're basically laying the groundwork for the whole project.
Exactly.
You define our goals, figure out which AI agents are right for the job,
Yeah.
and map out how the whole thing's going to flow from beginning to end.
You got it. It's like a blueprint, but with AI agents as your specialized team.
That's great. I love it.
First things first, you got to be super clear about what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Right.
What are your objectives? What outcomes are you hoping for?
Makes sense.
Once you've got a good handle on those goals, then you can start figuring out which AI agents are the best fit for each task.
Yeah. I can see how that selection process is super important. It's like putting together a team of experts, right?
Right?
Making sure each one has the right skills and experience to excel in their role. And then comes the mapping part, right?
Yeah.
Like visualizing the entire workflow, determining the sequence of tasks, who handles what, and what happens if we run into a problem.
Exactly. You need a clear roadmap, a step-by-step plan that outlines how all the AI agents are going to work together. But it's also important to remember that things don't always go according to plan in the real world.
Right.
So being flexible is super important.
Yeah, so our workflow blueprint needs to be adaptable,
Right.
We might need to make adjustments or change direction along the way. It's like navigating a complex route, You might have to detour or take an alternate path if you run into some unexpected obstacles.
That's a great way to put it. So once we have our plan in place and our AI team is all set, it's time to move on to the execution phase. This is where we let our agents loose and let them do their thing.
It's like giving the starting signal.
Exactly.
Setting our AI agents in motion to go and carry out the tasks we've assigned them. But it's not just about delegating and hoping for the best, right? We still need to be involved and monitor their progress and offer guidance along the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's active management. We got to keep an eye on how our AI agents are performing, make sure they're on track, give them feedback, and step in if we need to make any adjustments.
So it's like being a conductor leading an orchestra.
Yeah.
Where each AI agent is a skilled musician playing their part. We need to coordinate their efforts, make sure they're all in harmony, and make sure the overall performance matches our vision.
That is a perfect analogy. We're orchestrating the flow of information and tasks.
I like it.
Making sure everything moves smoothly towards that end goal.
Awesome. And that brings us to the final phase, right?
Yes.
Evaluation and iteration. After the project is done, we need to take a step back and assess how things went. What worked well? What could be improved?
Exactly. Evaluation and iteration are super important for continuous improvement. We need to analyze the outcomes. Did we achieve our objectives? Were there any surprises? And then we use those lessons to refine our workflow.
Right.
What can we do better next time?
Yeah, it sounds like this iterative process is key to really unlocking the full potential of agentic workflows.
Oh, yeah.
The more we use them, the more refined and effective they become. Like a well-oiled machine that's constantly being tuned for optimal performance.
Exactly.
But let's push the boundaries a little bit further here.
Okay.
What about some of the more advanced applications of this approach?
Okay.
What's on the horizon? What's coming next?
Oh, the future of agentic workflows is packed with possibilities.
Okay.
One really fascinating area is persona-driven collaboration.
Yeah.
This is where those AI personalities play a much bigger role in how we communicate and work together.
Well, that sounds amazing. It's like having AI teammates that not only excel at their tasks, but also contribute to like a positive and productive team dynamic.
Exactly.
But isn't there a risk of like over-relying on those AI personalities?
Sure.
And losing that human element.
Yeah.
That's so crucial in teamwork.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. And it's definitely something we need to be mindful of as we develop these technologies. Remember, the goal is not to replace human interaction, but to make it better.
Right.
We want to create a smoother, more effective collaboration between humans and AI.
Okay, so it's about finding the right balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Leveraging the strengths of both human and artificial intelligence to create this really synergistic partnership. I love it. What other cool things are on the horizon?
Another area that's super promising is swarm intelligence.
Okay.
So imagine you have a super complex problem that needs expertise from a bunch of different areas.
Right.
Instead of relying on just one AI agent, you could use a whole swarm of specialized agents.
Okay.
Each one a master of their own specific area.
Oh, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's like having an entire research lab at your disposal,
Right.
with each AI agent bringing their own unique knowledge and skills to solve the problem together.
Exactly.
But how would all those AI agents communicate and coordinate their efforts within that swarm?
Now that's where things get really interesting. These agents would need to communicate and share information seamlessly,
Okay.
constantly adapting their strategies as the problem changes.
So it's like this highly coordinated dance.
Yeah.
Where each AI agent is moving in sync with the others, responding to cues and adjusting their steps to achieve a shared goal. And this idea of continuous learning and adaptation is that where AI agents actually start to evolve and improve over time,
Yes.
making our workflows even more effective in the long run.
Exactly. We're not just talking about static tools here. These AI agents are constantly learning from new data, from user feedback, from the outcomes of previous workflows.
Right.
They get more accurate, more efficient, more capable with every iteration.
So it's not just about us designing and refining the workflows.
Right.
The AI agents themselves are actively participating in that optimization process. They're constantly learning and evolving to become even better partners.
Right.
I love it. This all sounds so incredibly promising, but I'm also curious about the potential challenges. What are some of the hurdles we might face as we move deeper into the world of agentic workflows?
One of the biggest challenges is making sure that all these really smart AI agents are playing by the rules.
Right.
We need to be sure they're not going to cause any harm or be biased in any way.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance between using the power of AI for good and making sure it's being used ethically. So we need to come up with some guidelines then.
Exactly. We need frameworks and guidelines to govern how they behave, especially as they become more and more independent.
And as we're using AI more and more in our work, we need to be really careful about data privacy too.
Right.
Any personal information that these AI agents are dealing with needs to be protected really carefully.
Absolutely. We need to build trust in these systems. People need to feel comfortable and confident working with AI agents. So looking ahead, what does the future hold for this whole field? What can we expect to see happening?
Good question.
Well, I think we're going to see even more personalization. As AI gets better and better, we're going to see more customized agents that are designed for very specific tasks. Like, imagine an AI agent that's specifically for writing marketing copy for sustainable fashion brands.
Wow.
Or an agent that helps you plan the perfect road trip based on your interests.
It's like having a personal assistant who knows exactly what you like and what you want. That's amazing. What about the way that all these different AI agents work together? Are we going to see them being more connected?
Definitely. Better interoperability is another big trend. Imagine a world where your AI writing assistant is working directly with your AI design tool to make amazing visuals.